All right, welcome to the G Talk podcast. We back again for another edition. I am joined by Veronica.
Hey, friends.
Yes, GMV again. Other folks are bullshitting, so.
Correct. But also, Kirsten, we hope you feel better.
Well, yeah, I want to talk about Kirsten, but,
But
the other people.
not Kirsten,
Yeah.
but other folks were bullshitting.
All right.
But Kirsten, we hope you feel better.
We'll watch Kirsten will probably be like, oh, hell no, they didn't think I'm bullshit.
Yeah, that's why I had to say something alternate, you know?
Yeah. But anywho, we're here on the Labor Day 2023. This Labor Day's been kind of chill.
The actual day.
Yeah.
This weekend, there's a lot to do.
Yeah, Labor Day is actually one of the more lit holidays to me, especially with being around football season starting up for college, and it's the end of summer, so I think Labor Day is pretty cool.
Irony, my memory, memory for today is the last time you had a game night.
Was that Labor Day?
Mm-hmm. Well, it was the day before Labor Day because,
What did
it was
I do
last year.
What did I do last Labor Day?
We had everybody over after the first Friday, the Black Market.
Sure did.
That was a
Yeah, that was kind of salacious, wasn't it?
no comment.
Yeah, good times, but Corner Veronica, we gotta do better this fall, right?
Period.
But maybe we're just getting older, and we're just more chill now. You ever consider that?
We gonna be lit one season a year, and since it wasn't summer, we gonna have a hot person fall.
Yeah, I guess for those listening, did y'all have a lit summer? Because I've been hearing just other people say that their summer was kind of mild too. So when time moves fast, we all feel it. It's like a universal feeling. Maybe the summer is like not as lit.
It wasn't like it was quick or anything. It's just
because we even talked about it on your last pod, me and Cliff.
We did.
Oh yeah, this summer just hadn't been.
It wasn't popping, so
summery.
we gotta make something this fall shake before my birthday, preferably.
Right. Shout out to Bird, long time listener back in the A. You met Bird.
Hey, Bird.
He says after he finished the Joe Budden podcast, mine is next. So.
Oh.
So yeah.
Well, JBP's on vacation. So is he also a Patreon member? Because that's the only way the streets are getting fed.
So I've been telling him about that. I say, hey man, you're gonna get a Patreon, but I don't think he's a Patreon.
Oh,
member.
Bird, get Patreon.
Yeah, it definitely be some heat on there. And what? How much is it a month? Like $10, $20?
Well, we're on the $25 tier.
Okay. All right, it's $25.
Yeah.
We got many.
It balances out because I have other Patreon subscriptions that are just way cheaper. That should be more. So, like, me paying $25 for Joe ain't nothing.
Yeah. Anywho, let's jump right to the news week. So, TSU versus Notre Dame. As we all know, this is a money game. What they lose?
But was it enough money? That's my question. At this
How much
point.
they get? Like, what was it?
$2 million.
See, and where does that money go?
Well, no. My question is that money after expenses? Did we get $2 million after like travel, room and board, and all that?
That's a good question.
Or did we get $2 million up front and still have to pay for travel, room, and board?
Well, but the university pays for that.
Right, but like they could negotiate where it's like they get $2 million net after the expense of going.
Yeah, but yeah, so they went up to where's Notre Dame at?
South Bend,
Indiana,
right outside Chicago,
and yeah, they lost
a lot,
56-3.
But silver lining is
what?
The lessons that you learn from this game, you can then go on to apply to OVC games. You like how I just toed the party line?
Okay.
I'm a bleed blue.
I suppose, but it's just a level
Roar City.
Are you subscribing to that? Or in other sports news, Colorado beat TCU 45-42. Shedeur Sanders made his debut after leaving Jackson State. He went 38 for 47, 510 passing yards, which is a school record, 4 passing touchdowns, no interceptions, and 140.25 passer rating. And this is his first time, starting at Colorado after Jackson State, which in my opinion puts HBCUs even more on the map because he came from HBCU and dominated game 1. So shout out to Shedeur Sanders and Dion. Everybody's on watch, so we'll see. The Braves was out in LA this past weekend. It was a 4-game series. The Braves took the series 3-1. We whooped the Dodgers' ass.
Come on, Braves.
Thursday, Ronald Acuna Jr., congrats to him. He got married early that morning, after a flight from Colorado.
Couldn't be early. Me.
He made the arrangements real quick. He married his wife. He married his longtime girlfriend, was now his wife. And then that night, Ronald Acuna Jr. hits a grand slam, which is a home run with the bases loaded.
Oh, okay. With all 3 bases loaded?
Yeah, everybody on base.
Oh, so that's like 4 points.
4 runs, yep. So
see? He mentioned it last podcast that he's converting his friends.
Yep.
I'm one of those people.
So the funny thing too, the anticipation with the series was you got basically the top 4 in the MVP race. You got Ronald Acuna, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, which he came from the Braves. He won the World Series with us, but and then you got Matt Olson. They're literally the top 4, and they all facing each other. So Ronald Acuna hit a grand slam. Mookie Betts hit 2 home runs. It was like shit. So it was a battle, but that Thursday night it was 8-7. So it was a pretty hard fought game, but playoff like atmosphere. We'll probably see them in the National League Championship Series if nothing else happens. But baseball can be funny like that, where the number 1 seed get knocked out real quick. So yeah, that was a good weekend, especially for the Braves. Not so much for TSU, but of course we knew what the outcome would be.
Correct. We got paid to lose.
Also too, Acuna real quick, he broke history. He's the first player ever to hit 30 home runs and have at least 60 stolen bases in one single season. That has never been done before, ever. So I think that helps his chances of becoming the MVP. And plus, I'm a little biased, but even still, like, he's putting up some really good numbers. Mitch McConnell.
He glitched.
Someone tweeted, I forgot what they said. It was something about freezing or whatever. But
you know what tweet has really tickled my soul? It's that he was practicing for Beyonce. Where she's like, look around, everybody on mute. That one got me. That man was glitching in real life, allegedly, while we were making all these jokes. Allegedly, he was actually having a medical, a medical emergency. But all it took was somebody asking, "You running for re-election?" This man glitched.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. That was the hilarious part about it. She said, "So, what are your thoughts of running for re-election in 2026?" First, I'm thinking 2026.
This man don't need to be in office now.
Like, yeah. But yeah, so for those who don't know, like, background, Mitch McConnell froze up 5 weeks prior. So this is the second occurrence.
Yeah, but after the first occurrence, he was hospitalized.
Yeah. And then, of course, a few days later, a medical expert said he was clear to keep performing his job.
They are lying to us. They're lying to us about the people.
They got paid to say that.
They're lying to us about the health of the people. They're lying to us about COVID. Like, they're just lying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, COVID is back. Well, it never really left, but...
No, but it's like back.
Yeah, and a few weeks ago, a lot of people I knew, including myself, we were congested or whatever simultaneously.
Oh, I missed that one.
And
working from
matter
home.
of fact, it was like a month ago. But yeah, Mitch McConnell froze up, and that just created a bigger conversation of term limits, which I'm a proponent for, because even last year when Nancy Pelosi stepped down,
that man has been in office for over 30 years. Did you know that?
Yeah, he first got elected to the Senate in 84.
We weren't alive, Garrison.
That's almost 40 years.
We were not alive.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kentucky, though, because y'all just keep re-electing that motherfucker.
Yeah. But yeah, even last year, Nancy Pelosi, when she stepped down from being the Speaker of the House, she was 80 years old.
I'm not saying I'm a proponent for term limits, because I think if you start younger, you should be able to go longer. I think there should be an age gap. Like you have to be a certain age to qualify.
Well, yeah.
I think you should, once you hit another age, you should disqualify.
Well, I feel like once you're a certain age,
but that might be
done.
ageism.
Don't matter, because then it comes to, are you competent to perform your job?
Well, some people are competent into their elder ages.
Yeah, but if you're comparing apples to apples, would you rather have someone elderly or someone a little bit younger?
I'm not disagreeing. I'm just giving you the pushback. The constitutional pushback is that age is a protected class.
Yeah, but other industries, they force certain people to retire once they reach a certain age. Like, what was that? Air traffic control people. I think at age 55 is a hard stop.
Yeah, but I think that's has more to do with actual ability, physical ability, than anything else.
Now, you've been around.
Because to me that's also very ageist too. I turned 50. You let me fly the day before I turned 55. I turned 55 and suddenly my eyes aren't good enough. The fuck. That's how I feel personally. It's a little ageism, but I also concur that I do think that there needs to be some sort of
limits
method where you get to a certain point and you can't do this job no more.
Well, and then you got to
retire, motherfucker.
I mean, you got to think about it. People we already have a retirement age.
We do, but 55 ain't.
But
if you're collecting Social Security, if you are on Medicare, you should not be able to be in office.
But my thing is, why do you want to do that at that age? That's backwards. You work hard all your life to.
Some people find their second wind
into the sunset.
Some people really find their second wind at retirement.
Don't get me wrong. Retirement now is very hybrid. However, to have a job of such magnitude that affects so many people, I think that's the issue for me.
Well,
because you're writing laws that technically you're not going to be around to even see, nor are you affected by it.
I'm sorry, you guys. We don't want to draw this out. But as a political science major, the majority of people, the largest percentage of people who vote are retired.
They ain't got nothing else to do.
So, I'm just saying, as if you were a retired person looking for someone to understand your demographic, you might be likely to elect another retired person. I mean, representation matters.
This goes back to the whole old people run America thing across the board, which is unfair. As a younger person,
it's unfair, but it can also easily be changed because we are the majority. We just don't vote.
So I'm gonna just push back when you say easily changed. It can be changed, but it's not.
No,
easy.
I don't think it's not easy. Like, I think it's very easy.
I think
get your peers to vote.
I think it was that easy.
Tell your peers to vote.
We would have saw change by now.
Well, I'm not saying I feel like Tennessee is a unique place, but other places is a lot easier for a 18-year-old in college to vote. It's not that in Tennessee, but encourage your peers to vote. Like, volunteer to take students from campus to their local voting, like, work voting. What are they called? Where you get ready to vote? I don't even know. Get people, voter registration tables.
But also,
get them go to your alma mater. Make sure them children can vote in the state of Tennessee, which they are a part-time resident at minimum.
Even just across the industries, most of these businesses are ran by older folks.
Well, no, I completely agree. America is run by old people,
which kind of sucks
who don't have any.
Because they hold on to the power, the resources, the connections to keep them there because it takes time to get there, which that's just something that we haven't gotten to
And then
yet.
by the time you've gotten there, you have a grudge against whatever was done when you were young. And so, like, now you're, like, just out of touch, out of date. Because those aren't the current young or the current issues. You're just, like, dealing with, like, a 30-year delay.
Yeah, and then... Yeah, in closing, just think about whenever you was at TSU or just in general when you had a guest speaker. Typically, well, the ones who are older, like, okay, you listen to them. But then when you have like a younger person, you're like, huh.
What a younger person.
But
I ain't never seen that.
I'm just more receptive and
but
people are more receptive because like, oh, that's actually realistic versus some 65-year-old man talking to high schoolers like, You just stay on track and you like
dare to say no to Trump.
Like it doesn't hit the same. So that's just all I'm saying. And it sucks because they do have all the power. They do.
They also
control
the purse.
And plus they took advantage of when things were just cheap back then. You can't graduate and be like, oh yeah, these houses $500,000. Like, and I'm only making 40.
Let me tell you. That was recently a conversation I had with Granny. Like, you got your properties for cheap.
Give
me something.
I actually had a argument last Christmas with like my aunts because it was like, see, that's wrong with y'all. Y'all don't know how to stay at one job. And I said, it's not the same. Y'all had.
Let me tell you.
Y'all had pensions. Y'all actually had.
I have literally stayed at this job. I am about to be on my 6th year at this job. Just so I can qualify for the pension, so I can leave.
Yeah,
that's the only reason why I'm staying. It's because I'm so close to 2 more months, bitch. 2.
The only thing, and
I qualify.
Older people. So it's a trade-off. Older people didn't have the lifestyle we have, but they had the resources.
But they also had children a lot younger than you and I.
But for them, the adult life was simpler. It's like you either go to high school, graduate from high school, feeling froggy, go to college. But even after high school... Are we
talking about our grandparents or our great-grandparents? I just want to clarify.
Grandparents.
Oh, my grandma got a master's.
But I'm saying she didn't necessarily have to, and she could have worked somewhere, got a pension, and then...
She literally got her master's to make like $20K more a year.
Yeah.
But by then she was like on her 3rd child, and she's like, "Oh, we need some money."
But I was gonna say, even back then, getting a master's probably wasn't even that expensive.
She had a full ride to Vanderbilt. She did not pay a singular dime.
I got a friend who just got a master's, $150,000.
Let me tell you,
for an MBA.
If there's a legacy program, I need whatever scholarship they gave Cormay.
So
let me in, Vandy.
Yeah, like our even our parents and grandparents, they want to own boats every weekend, getting lit, doing boomerangs and shit. All this fancy food. But
now let me tell you, I brought home a lobster roll from brunch, and my mom was like, "What do you have?" I was like, "I had a lobster roll." She's like, "What's that, bitch? What? You don't know what a lobster roll is?"
Was the lobster cold?
No, the lobster was warm.
Oh, you had no real lobster roll then.
Well, I mean, like when it was served to me, it was warm.
Was it a warm bun or like warm crab or warm lobster?
Lobster. That's a great question.
Because
I don't remember.
I had one up in Boston.
I know my bread was warm.
Yeah, because typically it's a toasted bun, but the lobster
should be like cold, room temperature. But warm, like they gave you a side of warm butter to pour on top of it.
Yeah.
So like now I really don't remember like the temperature of the lobster because everything else was warm. It was Stony River.
They got lobster rolls?
For brunch. Only on the brunch menu, and brunch menu is only available on Sunday.
How big are they?
Oh, it was big.
So, okay, because normally, like, the one I had, like...
It was on brioche bun.
Okay. I'm actually... I got to try that. But
only on Sundays, though.
Dang, we went off on a...
We went on a food tangent.
Yeah. But yeah, basically, yeah, they had a lifestyle, but they had the securities of buying stuff cheap and then...
Buying things cheap and then preferably, hopefully, keeping it, you know?
And then that was back when jobs were loyal or they rewarded loyalty.
Let me tell you, don't stay at nobody's job.
So,
bump what they say.
Yeah. Well,
that's how you make more money, is leaving.
And then the ironic part, you got to leave then come back so they can pay you more.
Oh, I'm not about the comeback game. I ain't never came back to a job.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty much it. I went to Memphis this past weekend. Went to the Lane and Miles College game. It was at a high school. It was at Central High School in Memphis. But shout out to my frat brother for inviting me out. The scoreboard didn't work.
What?
Like literally, like we didn't know what the score was. We didn't know the time. But shout out to Brian Knowles. He's the band director at Miles. Miles sound pretty good. Yeah, that was my first, HBCU game of the year. Feel good to be in the atmosphere.
Miles College is the HBCU?
Yeah, Miles College in Alabama.
Okay.
Yeah. Alabama got the most HBCUs.
Why did I think Miles College was a community college? But it's okay.
Do your research. Shame on you.
Shame on me.
Shout out to Terry, my line brother. Went to go visit him. It was a good time linking up with him. I ain't seen him in a little minute, so it was cool to be on his territory.
Did Terry make you a cocktail from scratch?
Of course.
Scratch?
Yes, both.
I miss Terry. Come home.
I told Terry, I was like, this man does not change. But, made the drink. He was cooking. Good old classic Terry. Next day, played golf. And that golf course was kind of tough, I ain't gonna lie. But it was good, though. Shot 100 even. I'm trying to break 100, but then I linked up with some people from I met back in Charlotte, met up with some frat brothers, so it was a real good time. Came back this morning. Well, yeah, got back around 2:00. Ride was smooth, except it was an 18-wheeler that got into a bad accident, caused a little traffic, but yeah, got back at 2.
You didn't hit any traffic?
I did.
I was gonna say, because like traffic usually starts like about 2 miles before your exit, and that be irking me.
Well, remember, I'm coming from the west side.
Yeah, I'm talking about coming in. Traffic recently has been starting about 2 miles before your exit.
Really?
And that has irked my soul.
See, it's rare that I be coming from that way. But here we are now. What you do this weekend?
I was inside most of the weekend.
Were you?
Part of the weekend. And then when I came outside Saturday. That's when I was free to come outside. I've been inside, y'all.
Oh, was you preoccupied or something?
You're a child. Yes. I was preoccupied. That's a great way to put it.
With what?
Or
with whom?
I have been inside with a very specific reason. But I came outside Saturday. Came outside Saturday night. Did my regular, went to Stony River. It was great.
Or did you go 2 days in a row?
No, just went Saturday.
So when did you get a lobster roll?
I told you a few weeks ago on a Sunday.
Oh, you said a few weeks ago. Okay. I thought you said this past Sunday.
They've brought brunch back. Grabbed dinner with a friend. We went and got drinks other places. Ended up at Plain Jane. Plain Jane was very smoker friendly on Saturday.
Like inside?
No, but like people came in smelling loudly.
Oh, well,
Like loudly. I don't normally encounter that. But yeah, I went back in the house on Sunday. I guess technically I'm outside because I'm not at home, so it wasn't that eventful for me because everyone was gone.
Well,
And ain't nobody say, "Hey, we're going here. You want to come?" Hella people were in Memphis. Hella people.
like who?
Like, you were in Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
Tiffany was in Memphis. I have another friend, Ty. She was in Memphis. I'm not just going to run where everybody was at. Thomas was in Orlando. But, like, hella people were in Memphis. I'm like, I thought we were going to Memphis next week, but I guess not.
Yeah. Did you want to talk about what happened in the house real quick?
Oh, yeah. So, to wrap up the news week, if you missed it, Tennessee legislature had their special session. The Senate was pretty much at a stalemate. In the House, we had a couple of big things that happened in the past week. They passed a House rule where members' mics can be muted based upon what they deem to be conversation that's off topic. So you get a warning. You have a 24 hours muted mic. Second warning, you have 72 hours muted mic. By your third warning, your mic gets cut off for the entire rest of the session. If you recall the Tennessee 3, Justin Jones got muted first. Then that was session was almost over by then. And so just like the entire party did like a whole protest as if that matters. That's just opinion because they were still in decorum when all of them walked out. And then the next day, Justin Pearson, and Justin Jones, that's a lot of J's. They were in Cameron Sexton, the Speaker of the House, face while he's trying to walk out. And there was like I would like to call it an altercation because that man got pushed. However, they are calling it a inappropriate moment. That's what they're calling it. But to me, that's an assault. That's an altercation. You push that man till that man fell. And so that is what has happened. There was a special session that was supposed to talk about gun control or reasonable gun laws. Ain't none of that happened. Ain't shit happened. So they just wasted about $1.6 million on a 2-week special session. And ain't nothing come from it.
Is that what stemmed the uproar from them?
Well, from my perspective, Justin Jones is purely here for the antics. Instead of doing the hard work to get the work done. He's here to do the antics to make a show about not getting the work done, if you ask me my personal opinion. And so, considering that the state has such a super majority for the Republicans, I wasn't expecting anything to really reasonably get done. However, I did think, like, with the Covenant mothers going and lobbying, I was hoping for some law to get passed. That might have been a foolish concept.
Optimism.
Well, I'm always hoping, because I've sat with so many of the Republican leaders. It's like they aren't stupid. They aren't irreasonable. Like, it's just a matter of addressing the issue in a fashion that pulls at their heartstrings versus using antics that just further digs you in the hole. It's like it's a matter of having a conversation with them versus like shouting at them in public.
Yeah I get it. We'll take a quick break and we'll be back with our first topic.
Okay, so you guys, we're back with our main topics. And Garrison, I want to talk to you about the perception, quote unquote, of friendships. Because guess what? I finally got asked if you were my man.
What you mean finally?
Ain't nobody asked me before this.
I thought people always thought and asked you.
No. Wait, people be asking you for real?
Some people are like, yo, what's up with you and Veronica? I'm like, it's my friend, man. But like, especially when we
Like
went to
frequently? Okay, wait, that doesn't count.
Nah, but yeah, like in general.
That was a little spicy. We added a little sauce to that fire.
But nah, like people ask me like, yo.
But like outside of that.
Yeah, like people be like, yo, like what's up with you and Veronica? I'm like, that's my friend.
Oh, did ask. Like somebody was like, so tell your man Garrison I said hi. I was like, compute that, rewind. Did you just say my man Garrison?
Wait, who said that?
I'm not telling you.
Why not?
Cause
I'll bleep out the name.
bleep.
I'll bleep it out.
I just bleeped it out for you.
You so conservative. Come on, say
I'm
it.
dead. I'll tell you
Look,
after.
we be dropping names on here. That's what makes it so authentic and raw. Say the name. Put a name on the bullet.
You going for real? Dead ass bleep it out?
I promise.
Okay. So asked me how my man Garrison was doing.
You think he was being facetious?
No, I think he dead ass thinks you're my man.
But why would you think that?
First of all, why am I still in communication with this man? Like,
Well, that's another question too.
Anyway, he asked how you were. And I was like, my man? Like, my boyfriend? Because he ain't that. He's my bestie. He ain't my man. Do y'all like? So let's talk about it. Like, let's talk about perceptions, and what do you think? Other than the fact that we just be together and we're a man, an attractive female, and an attractive man sitting next to each other, doing things together. What other than that makes people think that people who are in friendships are together?
I mean, this extends to the even broader conversation, which I'm still gonna do this pod about older women just trying to hook up their sorority sister or whatever the moment they find a young single attractive man, because that happens to me a lot. Like, don't you ask me if I'm married or anything. They're like, how old are you? I got somebody I want to introduce you to. Well, damn, I can have a wife and kids.
I mean, you don't wear a ring.
Everybody ain't got to wear a ring.
That's true, but that's like what people look for.
But anywho, perception. I mean, hell, it can be people walking down the street. Oh yeah, they probably fucking. It's funny how humans work, but then you also got to factor in their background.
Have you ever been on the other side of the coin, like where you're like, oh, are y'all together?
Well, working at the bank, people come in sometime and like I didn't want to assume. I was like, yeah. So how do you two know each other? Because I just understand that everything ain't what it looked like.
Yeah, facts.
So I always give the courtesy of just asking, like, hey, like, how do I know each other, so that then they can tell the story versus, like, that's my sister. I'm like, oh shit, my bad. Not like, oh, so what are you and your wife doing here? Because people don't want to assume. But I would just say that's always gonna be a thing, because what people don't know, they just love to.
I feel like
create a narrative.
Some relationships play into it more than others.
Now, I am pretty good. So the fact that I experienced to have like women platonic friends, I have a different view on it. But there can be instances where it could look a little more friendly than it really is. So the assumption could be correct.
I don't think if you care, then the assumption is whatever it is. I think if you're more like diligent about it, the assumption is never made. Like I have, obviously, you guys know, I have married male friends. I go out of my way to make sure that we don't look coupled up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because I don't want that perception. But I feel like some people don't care, and so they don't do anything to negate that perception from being had.
I mean, look, perception is reality sometimes. You know? So you just got to be careful with that. Because depending on who sees it, it could be powers that be. You know, it could bite you in the long run, depending on the magnitude of it. But
I agree, perception does matter.
I believe in, because there are moments where you just can't help it. Like if y'all go somewhere, like I can't help that I'm with you. You know what I mean? So people gonna just assume, oh, they going out, like, you know. But it also depends on the frequency too. Now, if you always out with somebody, that can.
I don't even think it's necessarily the frequency. I think there's a matter of what you look like when you're out with somebody. I personally feel like I don't give like that's my man vibes with Garrison. Now I'll give that's my friend vibes. Now I'll cut a bitch over it. Don't play with my friend.
But like you don't. So I mean, once again, like I said, like a lot of people be asking me, yo, like you got something going? Maybe I don't think it's from how. Well, once again, they don't even see us like necessarily in person. That's kind of like what they see on social media. But yeah. I think the frequency thing is a factor because if you're always
I only hung out with Garrison 4 times a year, y'all wouldn't.
Probably not.
Like, oh, okay.
I don't think you would get as many, nor would I would get as many like, yo, what's up? But since we hang out frequently.
So how frequent are these yo's? What's up? I'm dying to know.
Can't really quantify it, but
like, cause I just had my very, very first one outside of like people being like, oh, y'all should be a thing.
I mean, but they cousins, basically.
I think there's a very big difference between being like, hey friend, you and Garrison are cute together. Y'all should be a thing versus tell your man, Garrison.
I mean, it's still trying to get to the same place, though, in my opinion, because they're
some people are just gonna be like, oh, y'all are cute.
Yeah, but that's insinuating.
I mean, but like, you know, the y'all are cute thing like negates any real quantifiable like y'all would actually make a good match type vibe. Does that make sense?
Nah, like I think that's what they're implying. That
no, because when I hear y'all are cute, I'm like, oh. We would look good together physically. Yeah, but what about the other like personality traits?
But people don't even get that deep because when it comes to perception, we won't even get there.
Oh,
so
damn.
Yeah,
I'm going too far.
Yeah,
I don't tell people they'd be cute with somebody else unless I think they would make a good match.
Well, I mean, for people who don't really know, that's all they got.
Well, there's somebody that we both Kendra. Keeps bringing it up, and she's like,
I think she'd be trolling though.
Oh, I think that's it.
Like honestly, at this point, I think she's really trolling.
I think that's it.
So, but you know, I mean, the whole perception thing. I mean, you know, if it's two attractive people, I mean, it's just comes with the territory, in my opinion. Like you literally can't stop it. Does that happen
to your other female friends? I was just wondering.
Oh,
how often do you get asked about like?
Well,
insert female.
Every time I've met, so it's been times where I met my friends, you know, my female friends' parents or some sort of family member, and it almost never fails. They'll be like, yeah, you know, my mom said that she was real attractive, and you know, like, you know, y'all would probably be good together, you know, or they'll be like, so what's up with you and Garrison? Like, you know, they will always do that. So I've gotten that a lot. I'm always somebody, man. I'm always walking in somewhere because, you know, especially when I worked at the bank before pre-pandemic, I was always suited too. So they're like,
come on, suited and booted.
I'm like, who is this? I'm just like, hey.
Who is this appropriately dressed man?
So I always get that. That's been a frequent thing in my life, to be honest. And I can't help it.
You know, all my friends, like all my male friends, their parents love me and have tried, but like never been like that hard. Like I have friends whose parents are still like, so when are you gonna give my son a chance? I'm never gonna give your son a chance. Do you know what your son does to women?
No, they don't.
That's why he's single.
Well, I'm just saying it's a common thing to me.
That's unfortunate, friend.
I'm always getting married off.
That's really unfortunate, friend.
Now, sometimes when they be like, yo, I got a niece your age, they show me a picture of her. I'm like, okay. I'm like, hold on, wait a minute.
Oh, wait.
Whoa, hold on, wait a minute.
Whoa.
I'm like, hey, let's
bring her out.
let's test this theory out. But well, yeah, it's. Well, it's funny too because.
But have you so when I asked if you've ever been on the other side of the coin, have you ever made the presumption that one of your friends was with somebody that they be with too much, and be like,
Oh yeah.
where?
Yeah, because once again, I'm pretty good at like peeping the scene, and
Are you?
I am.
Really?
Oftentimes, I'll be right, and I'm not. I told you so, guy. But I'll give you that look like, nigga, I told you. But once again, though, I have a privileged lens because I have that, so I'm not quick to assume, well, this is probably just his homegirl, or vice versa. So I look at it from a more patient view versus just rush to.
So
assume.
you're one who's willing to collect some more data before like letting that assumption or that thought really settle in place.
Yeah, because what you see, yes, that's what you see, but in reality, if you take the chance to actually even ask, well, yeah, so was that your, I don't know, not just, like people tell you.
But like for me, when people say like, or when this person said that, I was like, okay, well maybe I need to amend my behavior because I don't want to get off with the perception that Garrison's my man.
Well, also I just think he was being, facetious a little bit.
No, I think he was trying to ask if I was single or not.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he didn't really mean it.
But also, like, maybe that was, like, genuinely his assumption.
Or not.
Or not.
Because, once again, when I hear that straight from another man, I mean, think about it. Like, oh, just a little boyfriend. Like,
why you guys say it with so much sauce? Like,
no, but
like the way you just said it was very, like, jealous.
But, no, but that happens. I've seen it many times. Where people will just throw a title on it to see how you react. Right?
I don't know. I'm also someone who will wait for like data points, but also I'm a person who like if my friend's giving off that vibe with somebody else, I know they aren't together. I'd be like, hey yo, you're looking real coupley.
Would you tell them?
I've said it to people.
Really?
Yes. Now have they been so perceptive to that information?
Interesting.
I don't know.
Interesting.
I broke the seal. We're going to have to take a break.
All right. Well, I mean, I think that pretty much wrapped up this topic.
Wait, we got to cut that part out.
Yeah. All right. We'll be back.
No one needs to know that.
All right. We're back with our last topic. It kind of segues from the last one, but let's have a conversation about bringing your boo, significant other around your friends.
I struggle with it.
I think that's a very it can be a very tricky situation.
I think you have to walk a tightrope, right? Between your comfort, their comfort, and then knowing your friends and how they gonna act. And
how you act around your friends. Because then you gotta play both sides. Because
well, I think that is important. I think this is okay. So I don't want to play all the sides, y'all, but I do think it's important to show your partner how you friend.
See,
but how soon is too soon, and how involved do you want to have your friends in your relationship? That's my problem.
I think, it's tricky because in my last relationship, I thought I did the right thing, right, by just getting in front of it.
Did you though?
Well, this was another instance, but because I have a good friend, she's a former coworker. She's like beautiful, but we just friends, and I incorporated them early to show like, hey, this is my friend.
Oh, so she wouldn't be threatened by you being with other pretty bitches. Got it.
But it had the opposite effect, But that wasn't
into insecurity.
Yeah, so that wasn't.
But how did you act with that friend? So I need clarity. We all need clarity, not just me. The listeners need clarity.
Oh gosh, it was one moment. So I invited him to a softball game, both of them, because
Wait, neither one of them were on the team. You invite your girl and your friend to a softball. Okay.
Yeah.
That could be awkward. That could be awkward AF.
But life is about learning lessons. So, it was cool. But then it was like maybe like a month or two later, she was like, I see the way you be looking at her. I'm just like, oh gosh.
I'm just gonna tell you, as a friend who has gone
cooked.
to your softball games, don't ever do that shit again.
Oh, trust me, I know.
Because coming to your softball games makes people look at you like, oh, that's his girl.
Yeah,
and
but
be like,
perception.
Nah, hell the
Perception.
fuck nah.
Yeah, so
I'm just here because I came here to be outside, drink, and make fun of y'all. Shit. I'm here to have a good time, not a long time.
Well, so that goes up to the whole perception thing. See, people can't even show up to a softball game.
No, I'm gonna tell you the truth. Dead ass. No, and that's why I never brought any of the signs, because that does give like girlfriend type vibes.
But it's like, it ain't though. Anyway,
right? For me, it's like I'm just trying to be annoying.
Yeah, so essentially, you just gotta know your partner, and also
I'm gonna tell you the truth. You gotta have a conversation with your man or your partner and your friends before they meet. Because I've introduced men in the past to friends, and friends have been like, oh, okay, so he's a part of the clique. Like, he's a part of the friend group.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, pause. Hold on, no. I'm just letting you meet him so that you can tell me your observations before we go too far.
Yeah, but then that can open a can of worms too.
Let me tell you, my last ex, I introduced to, you said we dropped names on the spot. I introduced him to Cassius.
Okay.
That's my motherfucking dog. Cassius took him outside on the balcony and they talked for like 25 minutes. Next thing I know is not even that day. The next day, me and my man went out for dinner. He was like, so did you and Cass used to fuck? I was like, no. What the fuck happened that made you think that? And he's like replaying like the whole conversation. He was like, and if you hurt her, I'ma shoot you. I'm like,
well, damn.
That's how he feels.
That was extreme, but
he's like, I ain't seen nobody get that way but a uncle, brother, or maybe a close cousin. I was like, no, that like, I'm a good girl. Like, my male friends love me. They're gonna act like like I think my friends, my circle, is protective. They don't want to see me hurt. He's like, no, that sounds like a nigga who used to either fuck you or he related to you. And you already said he ain't related. I'm like, he's not related and he didn't used to fuck me.
So what was the
chill out, bro.
So what was the end result of that?
I mean, me and that man eventually broke up.
But like, it wasn't from that though, right?
No, had nothing to do with that.
No, okay.
But like, he always questioned my male friendships after that point.
See, I think especially with me having the friend group that I do, it can be a little tricky.
I think you having the good your close friend circle, I could see how it could be overwhelming for a new a partner to meet.
Yeah,
but I would never introduce all of them at the same time.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do moving forward is certain groups.
But also, for you, I wouldn't introduce her to one of your good friends in front of that friend's good friend, friend circle. Because as we've already clearly defined, I have friends who think everyone who's introduced is now part of the friend circle. And you don't want that. I mean, as we've previously discussed on other podcasts, you don't even want me to become friends with your girl. If you recall that episode where Garrison was like, you're my friend.
Well, because that can get awkward too, because if y'all ain't fly no more, but then you befriend my now ex, and now every time I'm around, she might be around. That's awkward.
Well, I'm not saying that. That's weird.
But we know.
But why can't I be friendly and why can't I go to brunch with your girl without you?
Because sometimes friends.
Why can't I have some level of a bond with her? And then when y'all divorce, I'd be like, well, Dad got me in the custody.
I mean, it depends, because sometimes I don't know. Sometimes a friend could fuck up. Just say the wrong shit, not knowing, and then it be something very small. And they'll be like,
wait, is that something that you fear though? Because it was the way your face reacted. Is that something that you would think would happen? Is that if you let one of your friends become cool? I'm not even saying besties or anything. Just cool where they socially hang out without you, with a partner, that you'd be afraid you shared personal information that they would repeat that.
Yeah, because you got to factor in the girl bonding aspect, and y'all feel safe around each other, so y'all might, girl, I know I ain't supposed to tell you this, but, and then next thing you know, it comes back on me. I'm like, fuck. You know what I mean? Because that is a realistic situation.
Why do you lack trust in your friends in that manner?
I'm not saying I do. I'm just saying it's a possibility.
I just want to know.
No, I'm just saying it's a possibility.
I'm not saying that's not a possibility. Clearly, you've given a scenario where that could occur.
Yeah.
But why don't you trust your friends more?
I mean, I'm not saying that I don't. I'm just saying
sounds like you don't.
I'm not saying from experience. I'm just saying that can happen.
It can't happen.
That's what I'm saying.
That can't happen.
So I come at it just from a logical, realistic point of view, because that can very well happen.
I also think it's how you introduce your partner too. Since we're talking about it, I think if you introduce your partner in a pass by kind of manner, we're all at an event and the event isn't centered around me. And so it'd be like, oh yeah, this is my friend Garrison, this is my friend Thomas, this is my friend Deontay, in a pass by kind of manner, it's not as intense.
Yeah. But
I also don't encourage introducing nobody homecoming.
Homecoming?
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
I made that mistake. That's what the mistake I made.
Why would you do that?
So I was invited to a set.
That's the worst time.
I was invited to a set in my man's neighbor, in my man's area, and had my man pull up. And it was all bad. It was all bad.
Yeah, no.
I mean, it was a Sunday of homecomings. So homecoming is over, but it's still homecoming vibes. You gotta pick and choose. I also wouldn't do a double date dinner thing either, because then that gives my friend too much access to that person. Also,
what you mean?
I mean, since we talking about all Veronica's mistakes, also don't do your annual trip to Opryland to see the lights and take cute pictures and then invite your man to meet your other friends to do that shit either. It all turned bad. It was not good. Because now, I do that with friends, childhood friends who don't live here, and now they'd be like, so whatever happened to that man? And then they be wanting to post the pictures that man's in the pictures in. I'd be like, they're great pictures. Don't ever post them. We not together. That ain't my man.
Yeah, I mean, so I guess, when do you feel is an adequate time to introduce your boo, whatever, to your friends?
At the point where I am now, with the exception of a special occasion such as my birthday, you just not gonna meet that man until me and that man decide that we in this. Like, he gonna propose. So
you're not gonna introduce your friends?
Not until, like, we decide that we, like, legit together, like, this is it. We gonna do this. You can hear about them.
So, okay.
But you're not gonna, with the exception of, like, a special occasion such as my birthday. Preferably not homecoming.
Well, I would hope not.
I mean, but, like, you know how you run into people during homecoming.
Yeah.
I think that's just, like, from my experience, I just think that's a bad time to introduce somebody as your man. Lie. Be like, oh, this is my friend. Or this is no title included.
Yeah, this is who he is, yeah.
Yeah, with no indication.
Yeah, I think
homecoming's wild to be with your boyfriend, just your boyfriend.
Yeah.
Unless y'all are, like, long term. Yeah. Y'all been together for some years.
Yeah, I think a good time is when you know that you're confident in their personality, what they vibe with, who they'll mesh with. Because sometimes, you know, and it sucks because, yes, like, y'all are together, but if you know their personality is kind of like an introvert, or they ain't really fucking with the social shit like that, it makes it a little awkward.
I think it's harder to introduce that type of partner.
Yeah.
The non-social partner.
Yeah.
You have a lot of people.
Yeah, because
I don't date those type of people, though.
Yeah, because, like, with me, you know, I have a podcast. I got a huge network of people. I'm in a fraternity. Like, it's going to be some shit popping over here. So my partner is going to have to be okay with that.
Okay, so I'm going to say it. I hesitated because I was debating on if I was going to say it or not. I think for you, Garrison, it's easier said than done. Like, I think it's easier for somebody to be like, oh, yeah, I understand you have a podcast. I want to see the podcast. For them to actually come and then watch the podcast.
Oh, I would never do that.
I'm not saying just watch, but, like,
listen.
Or, like, visually, like, be in a space where, like, your friends who pod with you are. So, like, let's say, let's just give an example. It's a hypothetical example.
Give me an example.
Okay-ish. Okay, so here's the example. We'll take it back to Garrison's 150th episode. Let's say you're having your podcast, and then all your friends are, like, still like, after the pod's over, the mics are off, on air sign off, but everybody's still around. They drinking, they eating, they snacking, they smoking. And someone who wasn't here for the podcast, who is interested in you, is like, oh, well, I want to come. Duh. They pull up. I think it's harder to see the social setting, the network, if you will, surrounding you versus it not being a podcast environment. Like, so let's say, like, let's take that same example, but instead of them coming to your 150th, they came to, like, a game night. Mm-hmm. Which is much more of, like, an intimate setting. It's not like just everybody's invited type vibe.
Yeah.
I think that's a different dynamic. I think that what they would perceive would also be different.
Yeah. Because,
like, a game night might be like your friend and your friend brought a friend.
Yeah, because even with my birthday, I'm thinking about it.
Let's not relive that.
Yeah, but nah, you're right. I mean, it's just a hard balancing act, to be honest.
Because the irony is that your podcast is very much centered around you and your network, because that is what G Talk is.
And it's so crazy because even when I'm out places and they be people be on the pod, like they'll connect just off that. They're like, "Oh yeah, you on the pod? Oh yeah, me too." And then next thing you know, we all just a family again.
But you're like the center of all of that. Mm-hmm. Everybody, like, no one who's been on the pod doesn't have, like, everyone who's been on the pod can directly connect to you.
Yeah.
While, you know, in other scenarios when you're meeting friends, it might not be so centric. You might not be the center of the room.
Yeah.
So I can see how, like, coming to your podcast could be, or even listening to the podcast could be very intimidating.
Well, I would recommend they don't listen either.
Oh.
Absolutely.
I completely disagree.
Nah, because...
Well, no, I mean, for me. As someone who also has a podcast.
I'm talking about for me.
Well, now for you, yeah.
I mean, but to be fair though.
But like for me, I don't like. I'd be like, well, if you want to listen to my podcast, that's fine.
Yeah, I mean now it's a little more. I mean, it's tame. But
oh, except for like those very beginning episodes. Don't listen to like Malcolm's first episode. Like,
yeah,
let's take that one out the discography.
And also too.
But shout out to Malcolm.
Like we you know, as
it'd be your episodes I tell people that I'm interested in not to listen to. Like,
but yeah, I mean, but you know, just as a podcaster though, it's, you know, you say things, but
sometimes we just say things.
Is it? Sometimes
it's legitimately just content. Yeah. I am saying this because I know it's going to get the people going.
Yeah, and
like it'd be like me saying I need a doula when I get like when I become a stay-at-home mother. I want a nighttime doula. I want a full-time nanny, and I want a chef. Yeah, but I'm a stay-at-home wife.
Look, I be lying, and
I be lying.
Yeah, I mean it's literally for like entertainment purposes. So, like,
don't think that you get to know somebody in their full capacity on a podcast.
But see,
you're getting the character that they're portraying, right?
But someone who cares about you, has feelings. They
don't get that.
They're listening with a whole different ear.
Yeah,
and they're like, I can't believe you said that. What? Cheating? You know, like, you know, they.
Oh wait, no.
That's why
the hard truth of the matter is, Garrison, some of your takes, some of your opinions are in fact factual, but you don't want to let your partner know that.
I'm gonna bleep that out, but
they'll never know what I said, but you'll always wonder.
I mean, look, if you know me, then you'll know how I truly feel. That's how I feel. But if you don't know me, and then when you listen, then
sometimes the truth of the matter is, I say my initial reaction on my podcast, but then I have time to reflect and consider, and then my opinion might change, or who I am with you might be different than who I am on my podcast.
Yeah, but just from experience, I just will recommend that they don't listen.
Oh, listen to my shit. Just don't listen to me on Garrison shit.
Nah, look, do not listen, because, you know, especially if it's still early and you don't even know me, then you're gonna already just
you're gonna
make
have
your
assumptions
and in the event that you do listen, at least give me a fair shot and just ask me.
See, the irony is, I feel like you could say the same. Like, you might not want people to listen to your shit, but they could hear you on Totally Judging, because Totally Judging is like a little milder. Yeah, you don't get so spicy.
Yeah, so I mean,
we're a little more sober.
Yeah,
over there.
Yeah, so if you do listen, just at least give me a fair chance to say my side of the story.
Okay, rare.
But yeah, so all in all, there is no definite answer on when it is good to introduce your significant other. But I would just say, just
well, I mean,
just really know who you're dealing with.
I think the advice is to know your friends and know the person that you're wanting to introduce.
Yeah.
And don't rush into it. Don't be bullied into rushing into it.
Oh yeah, like if your friends always ask you about them or her,
or if she's always asking to meet your friends, because I feel like men don't do that really.
Yeah, I think it's more of a woman thing.
I don't want to sound sexist, but I just wanted to add that caveat.
It's true. It's true.
I think more women. Well, now as a woman, let me shoot me some bill. I think meeting a man and seeing him with his friends is very telling. So I'm for sure gonna want to see my man with his friends well before I want my man to see me with my people.
But you know, they could be acting, especially if they know you're around. Because look, let's be real. People ain't gonna be who they are.
Oh, facts.
Amongst their boys versus like you around them. Like it's just not gonna be the same.
Well, I'm gonna be me regardless. But I think so recently I was on a phone call with a friend and they was with their friends that I've never met. And one of their friends took their phone and was like, "So what you doing on the phone with my friend?" I'm like, "Talking?"
Yeah.
Where are you questioning why your man on the phone? Like why your friend's on the phone?
Yeah, and then sometimes
and then some wild shit happened, but I'll have to tell you that off mic.
Okay. And then also too, to close, like sometimes I ain't gonna lie, being a man, and when I'm finally get the invite or whatever, or I finally obliged to, hang out, with my friend or whatever amongst their friends, especially like their girlfriends, they can be extra as hell.
Extra as fuck.
Oh my god!
I gotta put the extra on just for you.
Oh my gosh, it's so nice to finally meet you. I'm like, then I'm just like, okay, but
that might be some extra sauce.
I feel like I'm under a microscope.
Oh, because you are. No, I don't. Let me negate that. You are.
And then
in the there's a facade. There's like a face of, oh my god, like I'm gonna give you like the perk. Like my friends are gonna be extra. They're gonna pull out that perky. But no, like if you ain't matching a certain level of energy, you are literally being judged.
Yeah, and I was gonna say that from the woman's perspective, I could see. Well,
now I can give you some tips. You got come off cool,
correct me if
calm
I'm
and
wrong,
collected.
but like, let's say you're amongst the friends who one of your friends invite their significant other over. Do y'all have those intense conversations like afterwards, like, girl, like what the fuck?
Let me tell you, with the exception of one friend, every friend that brings a man around is putting in the group text, "Hey, yo, I'm bringing my man." And then we've already got like a list of like kind of do's and don'ts, like kind of like hot, like what buttons not to push.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so like every friend recently whose man I've met, it's been like, I don't want to say, I'm not going that far to be like, "Hi, oh my god, I've heard so much about you," but you're definitely getting a, "Hi, my name is Veronica."
Now, it can be a little awkward too.
What you here for?
So it can be a little awkward too when I'm amongst my homegirls and they bring their man, and he come in, he look at me like, "Nigga, who are you?" I'm like, "What's up?" But go back to the perception. Sometimes they be thinking like, "Nigga,
I don't know, like,
ain't no
we
way
haven't had to cross that bridge. We haven't had to cross that bridge.
Yeah, that is a man thing that we got to deal with.
In my head, I do wonder, like, if I have to introduce like a man to you, like, what would I do? Because it's like, "Hey, yo, that's one of my best friends, Garrison, which you should know by now." Like, I just feel like by the time I'm ready to introduce a man to you, that man's already understands your position in my life.
Yeah. And look, it can be because, look, and that's the beauty of when you do have like a true platonic woman friend. Like, you don't falter. You don't flinch. You're like, oh, hey, how's it going? You know, you're not like, oh shit. You know, you don't
But
have
I also
any.
think by the time I introduced him to you, I wouldn't be looking for like a seal of approval.
Yeah.
Like it's more of a, okay, so you're already a fixture in my life. It's time that you understand my full life.
And also, I'm just speaking for, you know, just other homegirls in general who, you know, and it's been awkward times.
That could be awkward.
It's been awkward times where I will literally, so my homegirl, you know, she had a child and we was hanging out. And then like the father.
Wait, are you somebody's godparent?
No. The father of the child showed up. And then she like, yeah, this is Garrison. And I'm letting you know right now, he not going nowhere. And I'm thinking like, and he's bigger than me. He's bigger than me. I'm just like, hey. But like, I didn't expect her to introduce me like that. So I'm just thinking like, it's a little awkward. But he was like, oh, what's up, bro? You know?
I think it's also the way you introduce people. Like,
yeah.
I think it's difficult to introduce like your significant other to people he's never heard of.
Yeah.
Like, and then expect there to be some like level of like chill. Yeah. And not like no level of question.
Yeah.
You better know my big three. Like, you better know Tadeja, Thomas, and Garrison before you meet them.
Yeah. Anywho.
That's damn near who I'm always with. Anyway, so you guys let us know how y'all introduce people to other people.
Because I'm pretty sure y'all got many a story. You know, tag the pod on Twitter or X.
In fact, I might give a story without names once this drops. At
G Talk Podcast 1. You can mention on Instagram at G Talk Pod. So we want more interaction, you know, because this is a real thing, especially amongst young adults. We understand it can get a little convoluted. So let us know. We want to hear your side of the story, and also let us know stories about, you know, the perception of you. Have you always been the one who people assume, you know, you're the girlfriend or the whatever, you know? Just let us know your stories. And
we should repost the video from Atlanta that started it all.
All right, but I mean, I think they know where to find you already, but you can tell them if you want.
You guys know you can follow me at Veronica Lynn. That's it. I didn't even have to pull out my phone for that one.
Yeah, I'm about to say, because normally you got to pull it out.
Well, that's for my podcast. I don't know my podcast handle.
Which is wild.
Well, you know what? You'll get over it. But anyway, you can follow Garrison at Tom Dubois on Instagram. And GR Warren? No, not GR.
Garrison _ WRN. See, you just
WR,
talking.
It's the WRN. I was like, it's something.
You just talking and
I just be talking out the side of my neck.
Spitting lies. All right, y'all.
Bye.
Till next time, we out. Peace.
You got it.